The views and opinions expressed in this content are that of a continuously evolving nature and are subject to change as humanity evolves into higher states of awareness.
Hi everyone, just Lee again here from Next Level Awareness, and in this video I want to talk about finding peace, finding inner joy, something which everybody who's on the spiritual path is seeking, and sometimes this takes years, sometimes it takes just months. It depends on your level of awareness and how quickly you want to adapt to the reality that causes you to have peace. Okay, because a lot of people in the New Age communities have this idea of how to create peace in the consciousness, but a lot of these ideas don't necessarily work because they're not based on science. And one of the reasons I set up this channel was to mix science with spirituality, because sometimes when you don't do that, you get one or the other. The scientists in the world are too physical, and the spiritual people are too spiritual, too airy-fairy. That's why there's a lot of nonsense out there in the New Age communities telling you things like, meditate for 5 hours a day and you'll find peace. Well, in reality that doesn't work, because it takes a lot more than that to find peace. Meditation is just something you can do to enjoy that peace when you find it, you see. So as you increase your levels of awareness, you start to find this inner peace, and the way you do this is by experience after experience. Okay, and one of the main things that I find, one of the main experiences that helped me through this journey was the experience of karma. So as we evolve, we go through series of karma. Okay, so we create bad karma for ourselves based on the decisions we make, and all these decisions we make, we think it's going to bring happiness to us. But as you increase your levels of awareness, you realize that these decisions actually didn't. But you have to go through the process at the same time to realize that. So there's no spiritual bypass in this. You can't just go out and learn how to stop karma. Because even if you did that and you learned the universal laws, which should be taught in school, by the way, guys, even if you do that, you'll do it, but you won't have the appreciation you get with peace based on the journey. So the fun of it is going through the journey. I don't think there's any ways to shortcut this. And the reason I make these videos is just kind of like a guide to tell you guys how it's working. And the way it's working is that as we grow up, we make decisions. And a lot of these decisions, we don't realize how the laws of the universe work. So these decisions we make are causing bad karma. So we'll make a decision, and it might be a selfish decision. And because it's a selfish decision to make us happy, we don't realize the karmic consequences of that decision. So when that comes round, it causes more grief, more trauma than what we imagined. And then eventually we get to points where there's so much trauma in our lives, we have to release it, and we have to go through what's called the dark night of the soul, which is, in my experience, the worst point of your existence, one of the hardest points, but it's one of the most important as well, because what the dark night of the soul is when you create so much karma for yourself based on your incorrect decisions that it all comes and hits you all at once. And when it hits you, it's like, bang, it just totally 2 seconds, I think Poppy's stuck. Poppy, are you alright? What are you doing? What are you doing? Silly. Come here. Come on. Yeah, so when you go through the dark night of the soul, there's so much of your bad karma comes and hits you. It's like you're hit with a ton of bricks, okay, and all your worst fears just become a reality, okay. You might have fear of being alone, which I was. Then all of a sudden I was alone, because everything I did before that point was an attempt to not be alone, you see. And because I was so scared of being alone, I would do selfish things to kind of not be alone, and those selfish things eventually all come back and hit you, because the law of karma cannot be bypassed. Okay, it's a universal law. So when that happens, it kind of shakes you into what you wanted anyway. So when that happened to me, it was the worst time of my life, but it was also the best time of my life, because after 6 months of going through that, I started to realize all the mistakes I made which caused that. And then once you realize those, you kind of know how to not make those mistakes again. And that's kind of transcending your karmic cycle. So once you do that, everything you do after that point, you can do it better, because you know that every action you take has an exact and opposite reaction, because this is science, you see. And that's how the law of karma works. And the science of this is important, because not many people teach the science of this. See, you've got the scientists in the world concentrating on just physical matter, and they don't have a clue about the esoteric levels of existence and everything. And you've got the spiritual gurus who focus too spiritual and they're not scientific enough. And when this happens, it causes an imbalance, which is not good for the planet. This is why I don't associate or resonate with the New Age teachings at the moment, because a lot of it is about spiritual bypassing, but it doesn't work like that. And that's why it's very important to learn the laws of the universe. Okay, you have to learn the laws of the universe, and this should be taught in school, by the way, I would say, because children need to know how everything is working on a scientific level before they can put that into practice and increase their spiritual levels, because this journey is a journey from physical to non-physical. And when you find that peace eventually by going through your karmic cycle, going through the dark night of the soul, you'll find that inner peace eventually. And then everything you do from that point, you're not creating any more bad karma for yourself. So everything you're putting out into the universe is coming back to you in a positive way. And that's when you go on this upward spiral, and you no longer need the physical the physical stimulus anymore, okay? Because everything's in your imagination. You can come places like this and enjoy it just as much as when you were young you would enjoy going to a party with loud music and alcohol. You don't need that anymore when you reach these levels of awareness. So you can come to places like this and just enjoy it. Anywhere you are, you can enjoy, you see, because you've gone through that process where you've gone through so many bad experiences. You can literally appreciate anything after this point. And that's what awakening is. That's what the awakening is. It's not meditating 4 hours a day, okay? It's nothing like that. It's going through the experiences, understanding universal laws, understanding how to create a positive karma for yourself. And the reason I know this is because I tested this for a good couple of years. A few years back, I used to test the universe. I used to do things and wait and see what would happen. I would do things like put a pound coin into a charity box when I was out, and I would wait and see if that pound coin would come back to me in one way or another. And every time I did this, something like this, it always came back. For instance, I would put a pound coin in the charity box, I would wait. Later on in the day I would go shopping, and some of the food items I would normally buy would have a pound knocked off the price of the item, you see. So whatever we put out there, whatever we do, all comes back to us in that sense. And this is one of the things you need to realize about the awakening. It's all internal. You've got to do this yourself. You've got to put in the effort. You've got to understand how everything's working, and you have to work through this. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Anyway, so if you've got any comments, please leave them. If I've missed anything out regarding this, because I'm still learning as well, please leave a comment, let us know. And I'll tell you what the universe tells me, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a nice day. Puppy, go on, go on, go on, puppy.